In a small American town where whispers carry secrets and the quiet girl nobody notices walks with her head down, something extraordinary hides beneath her timid exterior. When a group of cruel bullies corner her in the school's shadowed hallway, they expect an easy target. But as their hands grip her wrists, a bone-chilling snap echoes not hers, but theirs. Who is this girl, and what power has she kept hidden all along? Buckle up for a story that will grip your heart and leave your jaw on the floor in the sleepy town of Willow Creek, Ohio, where cornfields stretched endlessly under a sky that always seemed too big. 16-year-old Ellie Harper was invisible. Not the kind of invisible that made people forget her name, but the kind that made them look right through her. At Willow Creek High, she was a ghost in oversized sweaters, her chestnut hair always falling over her face, her voice barely above a whisper. She sat in the back of classrooms, ate lunch alone under the bleachers, and walked home along the cracked sidewalks, her sneakers silent against the pavement. But Ellie wasn't just quiet, she was a vault, locking away a secret even she didn't fully understand. It started when she was 6. Her mother, Clara, a single parent who worked double shifts at the diner, noticed Ellie could do things. It's not party tricks or childish games, but impossible things. A glass of water would tremble when Ellie was angry. A door would slam shut when she was scared even if no one touched it. Clara, a practical woman with tired eyes, told Ellie to keep it hidden. "People don't like what they don't understand," she'd said, her voice sharp with fear. "They'll hurt you for it." So Ellie learned to bury it, to clench her fists and swallow the strange energy that pulsed in her veins. By high school, she'd mastered the art of being unnoticed. But secrets, like shadows, have a way of creeping out. The trouble began on a crisp October afternoon, the kind where the air smelled of fallen leaves and bonfires. Ellie was in the library, her sanctuary, tucked in a corner with a worn copy of Jane Eyre. The library was quiet, save for the hum of fluorescent lights and the occasional whisper of pages turning. That's when they found her Brooke Tanner and her pack. Brooke was Willow Creek High's queen bee, with glossy blonde hair and a smile that cut like glass. Her friends, Mia and Lauren, followed her like satellites, their laughter sharp and practiced. They'd targeted Ellie before snide. Comments about her clothes, her silence, her weirdo vibes, but today was different. Today, Brooke was bored, and boredom made her cruel. "Hey, freak show," Brooke called, leaning over Ellie's table, her perfume overwhelming. "What's with the book? Is planning to disappear into it like you do everywhere else?" Mia and Lauren snickered, circling like vultures. Ellie kept her eyes on the page, her heart pounding. She knew better than to engage. But Brooke wasn't in the mood for silence. She snatched the book from Ellie's hands, tossing it to the floor. "Look at me when I'm talking to you," she snapped. Ellie's fingers curled into fists under the table, and for a moment the air around her seemed to hum like a wire. Pulled taut, the librarian, Mrs. Carter, was at the front desk, oblivious, sorting overdue slips. Brooke leaned closer, her voice low and venomous. "You think you're better than us, don't you? Hiding behind your creepy little act?" Ellie's breath hitched, but she didn't look up. That's when Brooke grabbed her wrist, yanking her arm across the table. Mia and Lauren each took a side, pinning Ellie's other arm. The library felt smaller, the walls closing in. "Let's see how quiet you stay now," Brooke hissed, her nails digging into Ellie's skin. Ellie's mind screamed for her to stay calm, to keep the secret locked away. But something inside her snapped at her wrists, but something deeper, primal. The air grew heavy, the lights flickering. A smirk faltered as a sharp pain shot through her hand. She yelped, pulling back, but her fingers wouldn't move. A sickening crack echoed, and Brooke screamed, clutching her wrist. It hung limp, the bones impossibly shattered. Mia and Lauren froze, their hands still on Ellie, until they too cried out, collapsing as their wrists buckled under an invisible force. Ellie stood, trembling, her eyes wide with panic. She hadn't meant to do it. She didn't even know how she'd done it. The library descended into chaos. Mrs. Carter rushed over, shouting for help. Students gathered, whispering, phones already recording. Brooke was sobbing, her wrists swollen and useless. Mia and Lauren were pale, clutching their arms.
"Ellie,
backed away, her heart hammering. She grabbed her backpack and ran the Whispers, chasing her out the door. By the time she reached the empty football field, her breath came in ragged gasps. She sank to her knees in the grass, her hands shaking. What was she? And how could she ever go back? Word spread like wildfire. Next morning, Willow Creek High was buzzing. The official story was a freak accident. Maybe a table collapsed, maybe the girls tripped, but the rumors were wilder. Kids said Ellie was cursed, a witch, a demon. Brooke, her arm in a cast, fueled the fire, telling anyone who'd listened that Ellie had attacked them with some kind of voodoo. The principal, Mr. Hargrove, called Ellie into his office, his face a mix of skepticism and unease. "Ellie, what happened in that library?" he asked, leaning forward. She stared at her shoes, muttering about not knowing, about being scared. He didn't believe her, but he had no proof of anything else. He suspended her for a week pending an investigation. At home, Clara was furious not at Ellie, but at the Ellie ... world. "I told you to keep it hidden," she shouted, pacing the tiny kitchen of their trailer. "Now look what's happened. They'll come for you, Ellie. They always do." Ellie sat at the table, her hands in her lap, feeling the strange energy pulse faintly in her fingertips. "I didn't mean to," she whispered. Clara softened, kneeling beside her. "I know